Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports.
That's it, baby.
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and it's not. That tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Ready? 50, play. Go. Go.
Looking to throw on second down. McClellan, he's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. To throw again on second down. Wilson, and he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run on first down. Swift Oh, he sheds himself free. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The numbers for him from a week ago: 20 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Wilson. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try.
A 30-yard attempt.
The kick by Joseph is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. These are his numbers from last week's contest. Now you figure that he'll probably be a big factor in this one as well.
No question about it, partner. We just saw right there they want to get him the ball in space and see what he can do after the catch.
Looking to throw. McClellan. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll try the left side. Ramsey. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
from the gun on third down. McClellan, he finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, McClellan. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week, now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try.
And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. On 1st down, Swift gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And this is Shepard on the jet sweep. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
50. Check 56. Right here.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Last play, they didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they gain almost 40 yards here.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
13 yards, 1st down Packers.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
No gain on the play there, second down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
On second down, Swift, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. To throw is Wilson on third down. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
You used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And he had time there. I mean, you give any quarterback that length of time, he'll make you pay.
It just puts way too much stress on guys trying to cover downfield because, as you said, you don't have much time in the pocket. He can scan the field, find the open person. That's exactly what happened there. And what was the end result again?
Touchdown. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. From the gun, McClellan. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. They go play action here on first down. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 18 yards, first down, Niners.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they left little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Back to throw. McClellan. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On 4th down, Kyle Shanahan will send out the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Packers get set to go. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. He's going to fire one deep over. He's got a man, complete. And the 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, McClellan. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Got the connection here to Bourne. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. McClellan able to haul it in as Kittle. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. George Kittle in the final seconds of the first half as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying when we started this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. Now the extra point try, 4th. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Time here for likely 1 play, and then these 2 teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot down. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game. We'll just start all over.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he bats away, and it falls down incomplete. So thanks to the touch, it's a time ball game here heading back. As we'll send you down to Orlando to check in Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, let's take a look around the NFL here on this first Sunday of October. We'll start up in the Twin Cities. Minnesota hosting Detroit in the NFC North. And in the second quarter, it's the Vikings who are out on top. Cordero Patterson throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Carson Wentz leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Josh Rosen has a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through 1 half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returned. That's back of the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll run on first down. Swift, and he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 31, Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 23. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielding no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. A full start backs them up 5, first and 15. Back to throw. McClellan, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's second and 20. Looking to throw. McClellan, open man is born. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Packers pick it up. Look at the big man rumble, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know, head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance, because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead, it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And a bit of a daunting task here for this offense as they'll start out at the 1-yard line.
I guess you could easily say there's a whole lot of real estate in front of them if they want to achieve their goal, which is get to the other end zone.
And 99 yards to go if they want to do just that.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Check 43.
On first down, Swift. And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. 99 yards as his guys are able to regain the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Joseph now to have the PAT. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Back to throw. McClellan. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Ramsey. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Here we go. 8, read. Try to do better. Come on, get it.
Off play action. McClellan. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
This is caught, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
There you go. 5.
From the gun, McClellan. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 2-yard touchdown grab as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set, and racing going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too. Yeah,
everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
The Packers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Play action. It's Wilson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Nick Bosa in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving him past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
On first down, it's Ramsey. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 33 and a first.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Dorsett. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. 2nd down and inches. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Looking to throw. McClellan flush to his right. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter if he needs. And across the goal line, into the end zone, touchdown 49ers. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Here's Wilson. And this is Shepard on the catch. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
from midfield now. Here's Wilson. And this is caught by Watkins. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. And that's complete to Adams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A gain of 6 there on first. On 2nd down now, Swift. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Back to throw. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year, as they can now tie the game with the extra point here in the final 2 minutes. Well, the hardest need to split the posts, tie it up, but then their defense is going to have to hold up to send it to overtime.
Yeah, no matter what. I know there's an inclination in it when you have momentum to go for 2 here, but if you miss it, you don't give your defense a chance at all.
Plus, it's been a good game. I want to see overtime. I'm selfish.
You obviously don't have a flight to catch.
Tomorrow. A very important extra point there, up and good, and we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. On second down, Swift. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. And this one is right down Broadway. And the sidelines celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
So now the Niners down on the scoreboard. 25 seconds remaining. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
Back to throw. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And it's 3rd down. And the blitz does come. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
Yeah, at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Escaping the... And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Point after try forthcoming. And it would appear they're going to get out of here with a come-from-behind victory. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the 49ers, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And perhaps fortunately for them, they'll get an early bye next week and come back to action in Week 7. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.